Hello, this is Dave, Travels Through Time, Channel 2, and I'm just waiting for PD to get here, and we are doing the Star Trek Enterprise, Trek to the Stars, Star Trek Enterprise discussion stream. And we're going to be talking about the 4 seasons it was on, some episodes and the characters, and all that good stuff. And this is, of course, a prequel. This is set before the original Star Trek series. Set about 100 years before that. So it's a prequel. Kind of like how Star Wars episodes 1 through 3 were prequels to the original trilogy. So. And of course, it was originally called Enterprise, but then they retitled it Star Trek Enterprise, I believe, for the 3rd season. So it's called Star Trek Enterprise. Personally, I think they should have just went with Enterprise and kept it that way. Because after all, Star Trek was the original series. That makes it a little bit confusing to me. I think to other people too. It's like they should have just left it as Enterprise. Then the rest of them, Star Trek the original. Then all that. Deep Space Nine, all that stuff. All right, PD's coming on. All right, here we go. Whoa, PD. Can you hear me? Hello?
There we go. I can speak now. There you go. You got me?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Just fiddling with my settings.
Yeah, it's making sure my sound's working. I'm like, oh.
There we go.
Cool.
There we go.
Nice.
I'm here now. There we go. I'm in the room. Just trying to find your stream. It's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Now you tell me. I arrive in StreamYards and then you tell me there's a stream. There we go.
StreamYard, yeah.
Funny. Oh, I know. StreamYards used to be like 3 days behind. And guess what?
What?
You streamed in 30 minutes time, Dan's streaming.
I know, he's doing the Batman review stream. He's doing a Batman review panel thing.
I know, it's just our luck, isn't it? Oh.
I know, that's going to be a big one. It's like, because that's the big deal right now, the Batman, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, well, what can you do?
You know, I give Noel a shout if you want, but I can't guarantee he's going to come.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The thing is, I might not even, because I've done it before, and it's like he never replies, so I don't know. I mean...
I know. You know what he's like.
We know him
too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having any digs at all. Just saying.
No, we're not digging at him at all. No, everyone's different, you know. Every personality's different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it in theatre as well. Sometimes you get put with a tech crew that's really good, really on the ball, and they'll tell you everything before it happens. Other times it's like pulling teeth out of them just to find out what's going on, you know, and they don't do everything till the last minute, and they don't do it like a bodge job at the last minute.
Yeah.
The 11th hour. Yeah. People are all different.
Yeah, so this is a prequel, obviously, Enterprise. It's set before the original series.
Yeah. Okay. Getting down to the brass tacks. Yeah, the Enterprise was set as a prequel. It was set about 100 years after. After Star Trek First Contact, I think, if memory serves me correct, like 2160, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't. You know, I haven't watched Enterprise in ages to remember. To be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the first Vulcan in Starfleet, right? In this one.
Yeah, T'Pol.
Yeah.
Played by Jolene Blalock. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find a date for us. Yeah. I know which day it was released. It was released 2001. It was.
I guess we have the first Asian now, before Sulu now.
Yeah, what you'd call an Asian over in there in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asian over here is what we call someone from the Middle East.
Yeah, it's like Indian, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Indian or Pakistan or further over, kind of heading towards Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
You call an Arab, we call an Asian.
Hoshi Sato, that's her name.
Hoshi Sato, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Linda Park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's another one with a similar name who played Boomer in Battlestar Galactica. I always get them.
I know, they look similar, don't they?
Yeah, they look similar, and I get mixed up.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I was getting Linda Park and the woman that plays Boomer.
Yeah.
Mixed up. I think Linda Park is actually one of them actually Japanese and one of them actually Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Why am I always getting? Yeah. Why am I always getting those two mixed up?
And then we got, what is it?
Grace Park and Linda Park. Grace Park, I think, is Korean. I think Linda Park is actually Japanese.
Yeah, I thought they were related. That's funny. Yeah.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I thought it as well. When I first.
And I think they're both about a similar height too. I think they're both about like 5'8" or something.
Oh no,
like
Linda Park is Korean as well. She's born in Seoul, South. They're both Koreans playing. One's playing a Japanese. Is that allowed now? Is that allowed now?
Right. You have to be the exact race, right?
You can't have Koreans playing Japanese people now. That's
no
illegal in Hollywood.
Oh, and yeah, and you can't play a non-gay person playing a gay person.
Oh, did you hear Sir Ian McKellen come out and say what a load of poppycock it was?
Yeah.
Absolute load of rubbish, he turned around and said. He said, look, we're all pretenders, we're here to pretend, so, gay people can play straight people can play gay people. He says he's got no problem with it.
Yeah.
And I bet Hollywood had a mental breakdown after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just people get pushed against the wall and they just turn around and say, well, that's a load of poppycock, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so both Grace Park and Linda Park, I think, are Koreans. One was playing someone from a colony, so that's all right. And one was playing a Japanese person.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she was the first. I don't know if she was the first though.
No.
I think she was the first as a main character. Alyssa, then again Sulu.
Yeah.
I think it was the first male. She was the first female.
Yeah.
But then again, they got Alyssa Organa as a background. She was a background character though in Next Generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's the first main role. First Asian in a main, what you'd call an Asian in a main role.
Yeah, and then we got the spunky engineer.
Trip Tucker.
Yep.
Yeah. Where was he from? He's from Florida, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he sounded like he was from Alabama.
He did.
It's like you're supposed to be from Florida, mate, but you sound like you're from Alabama.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jeremy Grigg from Geeks and Gamers. It's like that's what I always scratch my head. It's like, it's like either he's North Texas or he's Alabama. It's like, well, why does he sound like he's from Florida?
And then we had our first alien doctor.
Yeah, Floxy.
Yeah.
Dr. Floxy. Well, he was, Yeah, he was the first alien doctor. I mean, Basher was augmented. Crusher was the first female.
Yeah.
Pulaski.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was first alien doctor.
Good actor too. Good actor.
Oh, John Billingsley, he's great. He's great with the fans. He's great with the sci-fi community.
Yeah.
He's been in the Orville. He's been all over the place. The only thing I hated about Phlox is when he did that horrible smile. Oh,
that was a little creepy. Yeah.
Creepy CGI smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was creepy. I mean, that was one of the biggest things. Just don't ever do that. He does it like 3 times. Like, don't ever do that again. Oh
no.
Yeah. Yeah, but as I said, I never thought I'd like Phlox, but you kind of grew on me. I liked Phlox in the end. A bit like Doctor in Voyager.
Yeah.
He was a good character. It was played well. It was fun to have an alien character. Also one that does weird stuff, like when he was in a Chinese restaurant. He done that. He blew up during
Was there any of the crew that you found what did you think of Travis's character?
Travis was all right. The only thing I felt was a bit wrong was the ship didn't have the first officer was the engineer.
Yeah.
They were a bit light on crew. I mean, I like Malcolm Reed. He was kind of my favorite character, and he was also supposed to turn out to be gay in the end.
Yeah.
But they cut that from the story. It's like, it's like it was supposed to be Garak in Deep Space Nine, and it was supposed to be Malcolm Reed.
Malcolm Reed. Yeah. Dominic
in the Enterprise. They never brought it out.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be like when I get to like season 5 or 6, it's supposed to find out that Malcolm Reed is actually gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a soft spot for Malcolm.
Yeah.
Being a fellow Brit, but he's very we're very similar characters.
Yeah.
We're both very tactical. I don't come from as much of a military background as he does.
No.
And as I said, we've both been trapped in the closet for a very long time.
Yeah.
He was never released though.
No.
But yeah, so I always liked Malcolm. I think he was my favorite character. Him and I think Phlox.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem I found with the captain was Captain Archer. It's like, yeah, Scott Bakula was a bit too well known in science fiction from Quantum Leap.
Do you think he was a little bit harsh, particularly with Daniels, his character?
Yeah, I always found it a bit hot. I liked the kind of more harsh kind of undertone of Enterprise.
Yeah.
It did what Voyager didn't do. It was a bit more rough and ready, and I think Voyager needed to be a bit more rough and ready, like Enterprise was.
Yeah.
So I made the characters more believable. They made them look like they had souls and they weren't like robots.
Yeah. In terms of Captain, who do you think would be the easiest to be friends with?
I don't know. I think Mayweather was quite friendly.
Yeah.
Phlox, Mayweather.
Yeah.
T'Pol's too cold.
Yeah.
But I did like the way the Vulcans kind of looked down their nose at us. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah. So what was your favorite
What do you think of the whole Suliban, their kind of story arc?
They never really... It was a good story arc, but it was just finished at the beginning of season 4.
Yeah.
They went a bit like the Kazon.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be the bad guy of the show, the generic bad guy of the show, and then by the end of season 4, they were going, "Oh, that's it, we're getting rid of them. Oh, temporal Cold War's over, get on with it."
Yeah.
Kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's one of the things I never really liked about Enterprise. That temporal Cold War thing I thought was a bit silly.
Oh, I know. And then it's like Daniels is like telling Archer, "You have to stop this," basically. And then he like showed him the Enterprise J and all that too.
Yeah. Yeah. It got a bit too much. It got even worse with the Xindi arc.
Oh, that was awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, that was series 3 is when I almost checked out.
Yeah, I was just like, okay. It's like, do I want to watch this or do I want to turn on something else? Well, it's Star Trek.
When they do something, when it's something's popular, we've seen it from 2016 onwards, this progressiveness, everyone has to put their pronouns into their shows now.
Yeah.
It was like after 2001. So sorry, Dave, I don't know how old you are. I didn't know you were born before or after the millennium.
Yeah, I was born in 9. Well, I was around the end of 89, so yeah.
Yeah, November, so you were about 11 when I was about 19 when it all happened.
Yeah.
But it was like this. It was really, how do you put it? It was like, we got to use it as an analogy. It's got to be an analogy in every single story. We have to have an analogy for bringing peace in the Middle East. And it's like, oh God, no. Everything had to be like an analogy of, everything had to be attacked like 9/11. And it was like, 9/11 was a horrible, horrible tragedy.
Yeah.
And it was an incident that should never have happened. But it's like everyone jumped on the 9/11 bandwagon. When we saw it in the UK, we were all getting really furious about it in the UK until, this is when Sadiq Khan was good, the current mayor of London, and he turned around to Barack Obama and said, "Look, you've got to tone this down."
Yeah.
It's starting to get on everyone's nerves. It's almost been 10 years, and it's starting to get on everyone's nerves now.
Yeah.
It was almost like, it was like a rich tone, like it wasn't Memorial Day, it was becoming a ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like everything had to have this 9/11 analogy, and it was like, oh, not again. And in the series, everyone was like on edge.
Yeah.
Like first kind of half a season, every character was on edge.
Yeah.
It's like Tucker was on edge, Archer was on edge, Reed was like, "What the hell am I doing here? I must be crazy."
Yeah.
Questioning his sanity. And it was like, all the kind of the 3 key members of the crew were all on edge. Yeah. Paul got addicted to Trillium and became, a junkie, which was almost like a throwback from Babylon 5 with, what's his name, Michael Garibaldi's story from Babylon 5. It's like, you dicking from Babylon 5 now.
I did like Admiral Forrest as like a recurring character. That was interesting.
Yeah. Thorne Armstrong, he's been in so many things. The first thing he was in was a motion picture.
Yeah, as a Klingon,
You know
that's right.
Yeah, you know the Klingon standing next to Mark Leonard playing the Klingon. At the beginning?
Yeah, that was him, right?
That was it. Vaughan Armstrong. When they get hit, he flies across the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only kind of see him kind of like they didn't show the full scene, but he was supposed to fall over.
Yeah.
But to shield his eyes and then fly backwards. But kind of the ship they all disappear. He did that entire stunt, and it never got shown.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was the commander in motion picture, the Klingon commander, not the captain.
Hey, Sadako.
Hey, Sadako. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I liked Admiral Forrest. I thought he was a kind of a proper, kind of old school kind of. You know, he still had a little bit of kind of resignation from the Third World War, so he was being really careful. But he was very much about making history and all that, and putting on a good show. And he always stuck up for Archer. He gave Archer a lot of leash.
Yeah,
leeway and leash. I was like,
do you feel like there was any traces of his character from Quantum Leap in his captain, or no?
That was kind of it. I always found out that it's like it's like the episode where they had Dean Stockwell in it. It was it was like you just wanted to see the outtakes from it.
Yeah.
Just to see if they touched. But I was like, listen, about 200 freaking references to Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so expecting it. They never got released, but I was expecting a Christmas card from it for them doing a bit of a Quantum Leap stint.
Yeah.
and Dean turning around and saying, okay, Sam, you seem to be a captain in the future, in the deep future on some alien planet, and I seem to be disguised as your alien adversary.
Yeah.
Just wanted that to happen, but it never did. That was another story that wasn't really another loose end that was never tied up.
Yeah.
Well, the people, the anti-Zindi, the kind of the Zindi racists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of an analogy for the Islamic State, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Enterprise is the Star Trek that I've seen the least episodes from, so it's nice to learn more. Good. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a good series. I mean, generally Sadako, I'd watch it. I'd just be very careful on season 3 because it was very make or break, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. And then right in the middle of series 3, they decide, let's run a story from Voyager that we previously ran, but we'd run it with T'Pol and Phlox instead of with the Doctor and 7 of 9.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? That is one of my biggest pet hates of season 3 of Enterprise. It's just a story that is just ripped off.
Yeah.
Lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels off of Star Trek Voyager.
What do you think of the theme song? What's your opinion on that?
Oh, have you seen the original?
I think there was Rod Stewart, right, or something?
No, not the Rod Stewart song. There's an original version of that theme music.
Yeah.
It's got different theme music. That was never the original theme music.
Oh, that's right. It was the end title one, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was the Archer's theme. That was the original
That's right.
one. You can find it on YouTube. I think
that might have been better. That might have been better.
I thought I preferred it.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it and put it in a chat. See if I can. Yeah. A lot of people have released it. I'm just going to try and look for it now. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to bung it in a chat for you, Sadako, so you can see this is what the original intro was supposed to be of Enterprise.
Yeah.
In the chat, that's what the original intro was supposed to be with the original music. But they changed it for Where My Heart Will Take Me in the end, which was sung by Russell Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's now recovering after having a surgery for an aneurysm.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
It was about a couple of years ago, but he said he's feeling a hell of a lot better now.
Good. Well, that's good.
Recovering, yeah. Apparently, that's why he was a bit of off the rails, Russell Watson, because I saw him through War of the Worlds. He was in the War of the Worlds documentary, and I saw Jeff Wayne just losing it with him.
Yeah.
Him acting like a bit of a boy. He had to have a minder with him all the time to make sure he didn't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it turns out in the end it's because he's had a brain aneurysm. It's been pushing on his brain. He's been doing some crazy stuff.
Wow.
It's now been removed and his brain has been fixed up and he's feeling a hell of a lot better. And he's actually a completely different person almost.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, so these things do these kind of things. I'm trying to remember that episode, which was the one from Voyager. They just completely redid it. Oh, I wish I could remember. It wasn't.
What do you think of the Minefield episode, the Romeo and Minefield one?
Oh, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
And the episode after that little tiny story arc is a very interesting one. Really interesting story that was.
Yeah, I thought it was well done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, God, this episode. What is it called? It's in season 4, I think.
You think Sadako saying the Voyager episode, I think, was Someone to Watch Over Me?
Might have been. Wasn't that? Yeah. No, I don't think that's the one. That's the one where 7 of 9 was starting to experience with So one where the crew of Voyager get put into suspended animation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird episode. I can't remember where it is. I try to remember off the top of my head, but it's a weird one. Oh, what is it called? Oh, so sorry about this. I mean, the one in Enterprise is Doctor's Orders.
Yeah.
I'll look up the Enterprise one and see if it references the Voyager one. It was called Doctor's Orders. It's almost. I'm surprised it's not shot by shot.
Yeah.
It's like it's the most laziest thing I've ever seen. One. That's it. It was One. The episode of Star Trek Voyager was called One, and it is literally Doctor's Orders is the most laziest writing I've ever seen on any science fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from Star Trek, I think Star Trek Into Darkness, that was even lazier. That was just cut and paste bits from the Wrath of Khan and try and make a story out of them.
I know, yeah. It wasn't very good.
But if you want to go on that, I'll go on to that next week. Probably our last one though, because I'm not doing anything to do with Discovery Universe, as they call it.
Have you seen the latest Batman yet? I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't. I hear it's the very first half of the film is very good, but the second half of the film, if you're very sensitive, to all this cancel culture, it's not that great.
Yeah, that part I don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. So again, Sadako, I'm just going to put it in. I'll just put it in a private chat.
Yeah.
In the main chat, there you go. That's the episode. It was One. It was just literally, the whole of Doctor's Orders is just literally a rip-off. There's even someone even wrote in the Wikipedia in 2020, James Whitbrook from IO9 described the episode as a worse version of Star Trek Voyager's episode 1.
Yeah.
Someone actually said that in 2020. Yeah, and it got named as one of the 5 worst episodes of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. Who wrote it, by the way? Oh, Chris Black. Chris Black wrote it.
Oh, yeah, he's not.
Oh,
he's not one of the best. He's okay.
Yeah,
he's not one of the best writers. Yeah.
No, he's written some pretty weird stuff.
He co-wrote
Masterminds. Oh, did you see Masterminds? That was an awful film.
Oh, I've heard it's bad.
Yeah, with Patrick Stewart in it. Yeah. That explains it. He just cut and pasted from a Voyager script.
Yeah.
It's like, if you ever seen some of the Little Britain sketches?
Yeah.
the one with the novelist. I can't remember her name, but it's a piss take of a British novelist. She goes around and says, "Oh," she goes, "Oh," she says in a novel, she's dictating a novel. Goes, "Oh, have you ever read the Bible, Jerry?" And then the novel goes, "No, I haven't." And then she turns around and says, "Oh, the Bible's on the shelf. Just copy it into the book." It's like that's like lazy, and she walks off. It's a little.
That's good.
Sketch.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll see if I can dig up. I'll see if I can just do it quickly. Find out what the novelist was. The name of the novelist. James Sally Markham.
Okay.
She's based on one of our famous novelists. Yeah. But it's like literally like the episode was written by him.
Yeah.
She keeps going, "How many pages is it? How many pages?" There you go, Sadako. So this is a private chat. It's quite funny. She keeps putting a load of rubbish in her novels. That's what that episode felt like, and I think that is the biggest claw in the side of Star Trek Enterprise that I had.
Yeah.
With the series, that episode was like, what? You just cut and paste an episode of Voyager, mate.
Yeah.
Change some of the characters. Anyway. Where do you want to go next with this?
We could talk about his. We could talk about his dog, right? He had a dog, the captain.
Yeah, it was the first captain to have a pet on it on a starship, I think. Apart from Picard's fish, if you count fish as pets.
Yeah, Porthos was his name. Yeah.
Yeah, Porthos was a miniature beagle. There was 2 of them on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 2.
I like that part though. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But did you know, I had a talk years ago, I think it was on Trek Yards, with what's his name? Doug Drexler. Doug Drexler was very, very... poor old Doug Drexler used to get a lot of stick for the design of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
XO1. Massive, massive stick. It wasn't his fault. What it was, Rick Berman, they were looking for designs for a new starship, right?
Yeah.
They come up with something very similar to the XO1 in the end.
Yeah.
But what happened was, Rick Berman in the end says, "Oh, I don't care." He says, "Oh, the Akira class ship from Star Trek First Contact looks good. Make it look like that." And they had to make it look like an Akira class. That's why it looks like an upside down Akira class starship from Star Trek First Contact and onwards.
Yeah.
Because it was they literally got told by Rick Berman to do it. He was never happy with that design. But later on, with the help of round two models, so make the Polar Lights model kits, he was able to release the NX-01 refit model kit.
Nice.
With the secondary hull and all the changes, because he was talking to Manny Koto in season 4 and says, "Manny," says, "I really want to do something about this design. I've never been happy with the NX-01 looking like an Akira, upside down Akira class."
Yeah.
And he turned around and said, "I've got an idea," and he showed Manny Koto some ideas of, like, extending the hull deck, extending the warp pylons down, adding a secondary hull, and an integrated dorsal on the original Enterprise. And so he did some SketchUp design, and Manny said, yeah. He said, "I want to do that. So I want to do that next season. I want to do that." And that's where the blueprints come from.
Awesome.
They're actually, the blueprints are official. I'll try and see if I can find them. See if I can find something. So, there we go. It's on a Reddit post from ages ago. See if I can get to the Reddit post. Found them. It's on a weird page. It's a weird one, but that is probably the best. That is the blueprints I saw.
Nice.
There you go, Sadako. That's the original blueprints for the refit design. Yeah, because Doug wanted to refit it. He was never happy with the design. So yeah, shall I come and put it in a private chat as well? There we go. He was never happy. Never at all happy with that design. So that was one of the things. And as I said, talk about Sir Manico. Season 4 of Enterprise was a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
It was a much better season. It had a little tiny two and three parters. I think there was only like two. I think there was only two single stories. One was about the Orion Pirates, and the other one was about the what's it, the one? Oh,
Actually, I'll send her a screen. Yeah, that looks a lot better. The blueprints. I'll share that.
Yeah. What are they called? The Organians. That's it. Organians. Sorry, I was thinking Antarians. Organians.
That's right, Organians. Yeah.
There was one about the Organians and the Organians, and literally the virus from. There was a virus like the virus from what is it called? Oh, what was that film called? The one about the virus, Andromeda Strain. That's the one.
That's right. I was like, no, it's not Outbreak. Andromeda Strain. That's right.
Andromeda Strain. There was an Andromeda Strain like virus that contaminated the crew. I mean, because this is Enterprise is not like the not like Next Generation. They're not beaming up and down. There's not biofuel.
Oh yeah, that was a lot better, million times better than what we had.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Doug Drexler did that.
Yeah,
Doug Drexler did that. Yeah, that's just one. Doug Drexler did that. He added the star drive section and moved the compensator down, which is a bit in the middle of the ship. The warp compensator crystal in the middle, I thought was actually an impulse engine. Something to do with the impulse engine. It's not. It's a compensator. That was moved down. Added a sort of star drive section. Made it look like it was evolving into the Enterprise we know and love.
Yeah.
I really like that design. I wish we could have seen it. I wish they would have put it in the last episode.
Yeah.
Just gone just gone for broke and put it in the last episode.
Yeah.
Even if they're just using the same old sets, because it was just, if it was getting cancelled anyway, they should have just done it. I think. Yeah, but that's what it was supposed to look like, and I think it looks a hell of a lot better. It's a vast improvement on the old design. That was supposed to be for season 5 or 6, when they were supposed to go into the Romulan War. Something was supposed to be happening with T'Pol's mother. I think T'Pol's mother was supposed to die as well, and there's supposed to be there's loads of story arcs. I think you're going to find out that Malcolm Reed was gay in this season as well. Those are things that never got finished. That's always my problem with Enterprise. They only got 4 seasons. The first season was an analogy for 9/11, and the war in the Middle East. And they never wrapped it up.
Yeah, the third season was probably the weakest. Yeah, the third season by far was the weakest one of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good season. I mean, there's people that really love it. It's like a lot of the kind of more action crowd love season 3 more than season 4.
Yeah.
But the proper Star Trek crowd love season 4 because of the episodes like In a Mirror Darkly, where they actually got to see the USS Defiant.
Oh, that was good.
That was my favorite episode in the whole of Enterprise. That was.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the premiere though, with the Nazis and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The alien. What were they called?
Yes, that was an alternate future. Sorry, an alternate past where the Germans were being helped by aliens during the Second World War.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Sliders, but not in a good.
Yeah,
not in love
it was a bit. Yeah, that was a bit like Sliders. Yeah. But the episode afterwards, when they finally get back to Earth and you see them sailing into the atmosphere of Earth, just above the atmosphere, that's a brilliant shot.
Yeah,
best shot I've ever seen in a Star Trek episode. Flying above the Earth. Yeah, it was had a funny opening season 4.
Yeah.
And you saw that the episode, I think, was called Home or something, where Archer had come back to Earth. And he was feeling about to chuck it in the towel. That's why I reckon they got the idea for Star Trek Beyond that Kirk was going to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Because I think they lifted it straight from Enterprise, because that was Archer in the third episode of season 1 of Enterprise. Yeah, actually, that was another single episode.
Yeah.
There's only about 3 single episodes in Star Trek Enterprise. Season 4. It's Home, the one with the the one with Organians and the one with the Orions.
Yeah.
The rest was all kind of like we had the Home. That's what I wanted from Voyager as well. You know, when Voyager got back to Earth, I wanted a third episode, which was just about them getting home. Because just did all you do is see Janeway in Star Trek Nemesis. That's it. But even in Enterprise got back from the Delphic Expanse. After Delphic Expanse disappeared, you had a whole episode where they got home. It's kind of one thing I've always found disappointing about Voyager.
Yeah.
And then you had Borderland, which had Noonien Sung came back. Sorry, Dr. Sung's grandfather.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. Eric Sung, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eric Sung is he's Dr.
Oh, and the Augments.
The Augments, yeah. It was going back to the eugenics wars and the Wrath of Khan.
I like that part. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric Soon. Yeah, Dr. Eric Soon had the Big Show in it as well as a Orion. That was a good 3-parter. And then we had the Forge, which was Garfield and Joseph Stevens, who were great.
Yep.
Who were great in Star Trek. The art of Star Trek is written by them.
Yeah,
which is a great book. The only problem is it kind of only goes up to Star Trek Generations. I wish they would have re-released that. Well, we're not taking it right up to Nemesis. Forge, The Awakening, and Kashira.
Oh, that's an interesting input, which Sadako just said. I feel Voyager Endgame was good for its first half and should have just been about old Janeway coming to terms with the losses, not going back to change them.
Yeah. Kind of kept on Earth until...
Yeah.
I think the logic was with it that they showed us what happened on Earth, but it didn't happen on Earth because they changed time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kashira. You got the Forge and the Awakening, which is a... Then you got Kashara and the Daedalus, which was another 2-parter. What was Observer Effect again? Sorry, I haven't seen this at all. Observer Effect was the second single episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Observer Effect. Then we had Babel Rung United, and the Anar. Kashira again. That was that was the Vulcan one. Yeah, it was a 3-parter. Sorry, Forge the Awakening and a Kashira, yeah. And you had Daedalus.
Yeah.
Daedalus, that was what episode was that? Daedalus, sorry, I can't remember. Oh yeah, there was there was 4 episodes. Sorry, there's only about 4 or 5 single episodes in season 4. It's a weird season. There's a lot of 2-parters. It's like they just squeezed all the 2-parters into one season. When we had that series of Doctor Who, was like there was like 2 2-parters and 1 3-parter. It was a bit like that.
Yeah.
Then you had Babel 1 and the United and the Anar. And then we had a bit later on we had Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince coming back as a Klingon. We had Affliction.
That's right. I remember that. That was cool.
Affliction and Diversions, which was a good episode.
Yeah.
I think then we had Bound, which was that was a single parter. Then we had the brilliant episode. We had In a Mirror Darkly, part 1 and 2, which was amazing. Then we had the one with RoboCop in it. What's his name from RoboCop? Oh, what's his name? Just off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember his name. Peter Weller?
Peter something.
RoboCop?
Peter something.
Yeah.
That's
Peter Weller from
Peter
Weller, yes, as John Frederick Paxson. Come back. That was the one about about
that was a good
prejudice.
one. Yeah.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, that was good.
It was a good episode. It was about prejudice because they created a baby. They created a baby of Trip and T'Pol, but it was a clone and it was unstable. But they thought that I can't remember what the name of the group in it was. There's a weird group in it. Oh, God, I'm trying to remember this stuff. It's been a long time since I've watched Enterprise. It was a.
Weller did work with Manny Cotto on the Odyssey 5 TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so it didn't last very long. It was canceled really fast, as I remember.
Yeah, but that was about kind of thinking fundamentalist groups and that was kind of about bigoted right wing groups. Bit like Walter Mosley groups, as I like to call them.
Yeah,
the Walter Mosley like group, and it all ends up going wrong. and they finally signed the Federation. Well, not the Federation Charter. They finally. It's the birth of the Federation, that episode. And then we had the final single part, which was Leads of the Voyages. It's the first show, Enterprise, to end on a single part, not a two-parter.
Yeah.
Didn't have a feature-length final episode. No, actually, I tell a lie. The original series didn't have one as well because it was cancelled. But just like the original series, Enterprise did not have a final two-parter. It's only Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager.
Yeah. And I have to agree with the Rabbi. That final episode is a bit of a mess, that finale.
Yeah. You want to know the beginning is a bit of a mess because you actually see two Rikers in this thing.
Yeah.
You pause it, right? You can see our Riker, the Riker in it, and there's another Riker.
Yeah.
There's another Riker sitting at the back of the room. It's like, well, why is he sitting at the back of the room and at the front of the room as well?
And then I don't know. I just didn't like the fact that at the it's all in the holodeck. I thought that was really bad.
Yeah. There's so many shots they could have got a 10 forward with Riker's not in there.
Yeah.
And they got the one with Riker was in there. Oh, they could have just used a shot from Star Trek Generations or something.
I don't know. I just think they shouldn't have had it be the main aspect of it. Have them be watching from the holodeck. It's kind of like
yeah. And it had holographic clothes as well in this episode. It's like every Next Generation episode, they always got changed before they went on the holodeck.
Yeah.
But they got holographic clothes now, and it's like, what? We never saw that. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly there's holographic clothes. It's like, what's all that about? Yep. Here we go. That's gone.
Oh, yeah, that troll, yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, Enterprise was supposed to go in a completely different direction originally, according to Doug Drexler, and I think John Eves, that's what I was thinking of. John Eves and Doug Drexler said they wanted the show originally to go in a different direction, but there was just too much interference from the Guess Who, Les Moonves.
Yeah.
God,
awful.
The cancer of Star Trek, a.k.a. Les Moonves.
Yeah.
Cancelled Enterprise and then put Alex Kurtzman in charge of Star Trek Discovery, yeah.
Thanks, Les Moonves. You're the Michael Grade of Star Trek.
He is. That guy is the Michael Grade of Star Trek. I mean, I might have thought Rick Berman was getting tired, personally, and I think he needed to hand it over to Brannon and take a back seat.
Yeah.
And then Brannon just needed to let Manny Cotto do another season, do a couple more seasons, or take him on to another series. But I think they just kind of. I think the problem was that too many people hung on for too long, and it got a bit stale at the top. But they were trying to get the problem. The nice thing about the Star Trek team is at the time the old Berman Star Trek team, they were trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
And then they got stuck with what's his name on Star Trek Nemesis, the director I was talking about last week, Stuart Baird.
Oh, Stuart Baird, yeah.
Ruined it, yeah.
Yeah, he was not very good, no.
Oh, speaking of that, did you see that, what's his name? Dave Cullen had a dig at that.
No, what did he
Last
say?
week, he turned around and said, "Yes, they beam down to they go down to deck 26, even though there's only 24 decks on the Enterprise, and there's a massive cavern that looks like goes for another 10 decks down. So does that mean the Enterprise got 36 decks now?"
Yeah.
And I was even saying during his premiere thing, I was saying, "Yeah, Captain Picard's ready room is now the size of a small crew quarters." And it's like, so therefore it sticks out, jots out the side of the ship. When they blew a hole in the ship, there wasn't about a 4 meter hole between the outer hull and the inner hull, because
Yeah.
Captain Picard, there's no room for Captain Picard's quarters now. So it sticks out into space. They messed around with all the phases. Worf had nothing to do in the episode, in the movie, because Stuart Baird didn't understand him, and there was no doors onto the into the bridge. Sorry, into the ready room from the bridge. The movie was a bit of a visual mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's directed well, but it's Sadako. It's directed fine.
Yeah.
But there's other parts that director has to do as a job, like the art direction and all that. And Stuart Baird started interfering really badly in the art direction. That's why you've got these non-canonical stuff cuts appearing. And he wouldn't listen to. He was like Tony Blair. He wouldn't listen to advisors.
Yeah.
And Rick Berman had to play nice with him. I mean, the person to listen to is John Eves on this one. You go and watch some of the old Trek Yards with John Eves.
Yeah.
Talking about the Enterprise E. He'll go into full details. He'll go into the transparent story, which is as I said last week, the model of the Enterprise in Picard's ready room. John Eves didn't like the color. He said he wanted it in transparent. He wanted them to paint it transparent. And John Eves, well, I don't think it was John Eves. I think it was Dan Curry. He turned around and asked him to do it. And Dan Curry almost had an aneurysm on set.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to train this in transparent, for God's sake? It's like it's translucent. I can't make it transparent. So he had to remold the Enterprise E study model, which was in Picard's ready room.
Yeah.
In clear resin. And if you actually see the original clear version of the model, there's lots of bubbles and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Because at that time, the clear resin wasn't that great.
Yeah.
It was better to do it in fiberglass and have it kind of slightly translucent.
Yeah.
Or have it custom made from glass. Because
Yeah.
clear resin was not very good at the time. It's a lot better nowadays. You can mold most things in clear resin, in what I call water resin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clear water resin. But you couldn't do it back in that days, and they just managed to do it and managed to get this, because it used to take ages for the resin to dry. And now dries a hell of a lot faster. But yeah, that's what happened. And John Eves still remembers the story to this day. And as I said, there was lots of stuff cut out of it, and that was the biggest problem, I think. And I think that was kind of the death nail in Star Trek, in Berman era Star Trek, Roddenberry / Berman era Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not even the biggest fan of the Abrams stuff, I must admit.
It's a bit of a guilty pleasure with me.
Yeah.
What I said about Abrams Trek, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I kind of like 2009. I kind of like Beyond.
Yeah.
But Into Darkness, I couldn't stand.
Yeah, well, that's what ruined it. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Into Darkness was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Into Darkness. It was just, it was a mess. The film was a mess. It was like, originally it was going to be about Gary Mitchell. It wasn't going to be about Khan.
Yeah.
It was going to be like the original first version of the script. It wasn't Khan Noonien, so it was Gary Mitchell.
Yeah.
It was a crew of a space starship.
That would have made it better.
I can't remember what the name of the ship was. The SS. It's one from where No Man Has Gone Before, when they find the. See if I can find it. Yeah, when No Man Has Gone Before. See if I can find it. It's the. I'm sure it was the SS Beagle or something. They find a distress signal from the ship. I can't remember what ship it was. But whatever that ship was, Yeah. SS Valiant, that's it. The SS Valiant. That's why the Defiant was originally going to be called the Valiant. It's named after the SS Valiant, but they had to change it because it had a letter V in it. It started with a V, so they had to change it because of Voyager. So they picked another ship from the original series, the Defiant, but it was supposed to be about the SS Valiant crew.
Yeah.
They went out towards the galactic barrier, and then they became superhumans. They got superhuman powers. They wanted to have them more like Khan Union Singh kind of superhuman, kind of more augmented to superhumans.
Yeah.
Not like having psychic powers and being telekinetic and all this. That's what it was all about. The whole Klingon bit was kind of just kind of stuck in. It's kind of just like shoved in there, just like and the long range transporter, which is like completely, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's like that's like the Discovery. Discovery is a mushroom drive, isn't it? Spore drive. Oh. If you can transport anywhere in the universe instantaneously, it's like the spore drive from Star Trek Discovery. Makes no sense. It's like why didn't Starfleet build a starship with a spore drive to go and rescue the USS Voyager?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a big fan of Star Trek Discovery, because it makes no sense in the main in the big overall arc of Star Trek.
Well, yeah, and the technology, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. I know. But anyway, that was supposed to be about the SS Valiant, and it was supposed to be Gary Mitchell, not Khan Noonien Singh, and they decided to change it at the last minute to make it more like Space Seed, because Star Trek The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And it was the second film, and they have to mirror what the second film did. That's why in Star Trek Beyond, Enterprise gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Because it did that in Search of Spock. That's what I always thought was a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Them. But if you want to touch on them, want me to come back and touch on them next week, I can do. Depends if Sadako wants me to do it.
Okay.
It'll probably be the last one we do on Star Trek, because I'm not even touching Discovery with a 30-foot pole, because I'd just be sitting here swearing for like 30 minutes.
It'd probably be a short stream though, because there weren't that many movies, so it'd probably be.
There's only 3 of them. Yeah, there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
Be a quick stream. Do it next week if you want.
Okay. And then, would you want to do a Batman stream at some point?
No, I'm not a big Batman fan, Dave, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll find something else. Yeah, we'll give it a shot next week. But yeah, but what I was going back to is Doug Drexler was saying, and John Eves was saying, that originally the idea was that they wouldn't find the Vulcan, they wouldn't see the Klingons until the end of the first season.
Yeah.
And he said the most disappointing thing he said about Enterprise working on it was they found the Klingons at the end of the first episode.
Yeah.
They had Klingons in the whole first episode. He said the whole point was they were supposed to be about slowly going out and building relations with other races and other civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a bit like Star Trek the original series, but a bit more primitive. That was the whole point, with more primitive humans. And the Vulcan, they weren't supposed to get T'Pol wasn't supposed to become a main character until season 2. She was supposed to be more of a guide than a first officer. They weren't supposed to find the Vulcans, I think, until either season 2 or season 3.
Yeah.
The whole point was the Vulcans turned around and said, just when you're ready, come and find us. Our coordinates are here, and that's why you had the Vulcan maps in the beginning of season 3. They were a throwback from the original synopsis for the show.
Yeah.
Look, the Vulcans gave them maps to try and find places. They weren't supposed to get the Vulcan maps until series 3.
Oh, I did like I did like the pilot with Klingons. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, sorry, they were supposed to get the Vulcan maps from day 1. It was supposed to show them where Vulcan was. They said they had to get there. They were kind of exploring. They were going towards Vulcan and using the Vulcan maps, and they were going to find the Vulcans in the end. Kind of the end of season 2, and T'Pol was supposed to be season 3. They had it all kind of mapped out, but then it was all changed.
Yeah.
It was made more of a kind of more of a kind of drama.
Yeah, I agree.
Than a science fiction show. Because it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be about baby steps, about the humans making baby steps into the galaxy. I mean, most of the first kind of season, they were going to be hanging around trade routes.
How did you feel about the Borg one?
I liked it because I didn't call them the Borg. There was supposed to be a sequel episode in season 5 which had Alex Krieger in it,
Yeah.
and she was supposed to get abducted by a Borg scout vessel.
Yeah.
In the end, she was supposed to be a cybernetics doctor, and she's out trying to find it. And she gets She gets abducted by the Borg in the end.
Oh, and that's how she would become the Borg Queen, right?
Yep.
I like that idea.
That's why the Borg are obsessed with human beings.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Because the Borg Queen was a human, but was a abducted human being, but they never got that far.
No.
There was
Darn.
drafts of the script, according to Manny Cosso, but that's about it.
I think that would have definitely sent the ratings up the roof.
Yeah, that was the kind of thing. They were going to fill in all the gaps.
Yeah.
And then there was supposed to be an episode, and there was supposed to be in season 5/6, the beginning of the Romulan War. It was supposed to go on for 2 years. I don't know how they were going to do it, though, because you wouldn't have been able to physically see a Romulan. I think it was going to be more kind of over a proxy war.
Yeah.
Or or it was going to be Romulans were going to be using drones and stuff.
Yeah.
Fighting against Starfleet with drones, and every time they capture one of their ships, it's a drone ship.
Yeah.
Hence why in the episode you see in season 4, the Romulans are using a drone ship.
Yeah.
And nobody knows it's them. They just know it's an unknown alien race. They don't trace it back to Romulus.
Yeah.
I think they were supposed to use proxy and drone attacks, and that's the whole Federation Romulan War was about.
Yeah.
That nobody ever physically saw a Romulan.
Yeah.
Romulans are about to get captured would do what the Japanese ninjas used to and throw acid in their faces, or their bodies would dissolve. A la UFO.
Yeah.
I think that was the idea. They would not ever physically be seen by the Federation or any of their allies. It's a bit like that. It wasn't a Cold War. It was like a warm. It was kind of like a lukewarm war.
Yeah.
You never know.
I feel like Enterprise, just as it was getting good, it ended. That was pretty much.
Yeah, that was a problem. Yeah, after In a Mirror Darkly, it was like that show could have really been something. I think that's what I always felt about Enterprise. I loved the kind of premise of Enterprise, but I just think the execution wasn't great. I think it was too much interference from UPN, which is now Viacom CPS. Les Moonves, way too much interference. I think Les Moonves just stuck to sticking his nose in Hawaii 5-0 and just kept his nose out of Enterprise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about Alex Kurtzman. He's very good at writing Hawaii 5-0, but he's terrible at writing Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we said it on the TARDIS Zone the other day. He said
just like with a certain other writer for Doctor Who, he shouldn't be writing science fiction or producing it.
He had a really good idea for Mandalorian, actually.
Oh, Kurtzman? Or?
No, not Kurtzman. Chibnall.
Oh, really?
He wanted to do Mandalorian with over at Disney. He wanted to do Mandalorian like it was Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
More like it was The Sopranos.
Interesting.
That he was trying to establish a new crime empire.
Huh, that's surprising.
People trying to betray him and everything. It was a lot darker.
Huh.
I think Disney thought it was too dark, and so they said no to it. But that was a good idea. And he could have wrote it well because he would have done it as a crime drama, but he would have done it in a sci-fi environment. And Chibnall's very good at doing crime. He was good at doing that with Torchwood. He was just terrible at doing Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Because I always thought he wanted to do it when he was when he was younger. I think he was more a fan of Unit than Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think he was more Unit than he wasn't really a fan of Doctor Who.
He kind of hated it that Unit was not in Doctor Who anymore, and that John Nathan Turner took Unit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were planning on doing a Unit series with Doctor Who, but it just never got off the ground.
That would have been cool. That would have been good.
Yeah, I always said that. They should always do it. They could do it really well now with Lethbridge Stewart's daughter.
Yeah.
We could do a really good series.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the Paternoster gang.
Yeah.
They could do a very good series, but they just never did.
I know.
It was all right, Sadako. It wasn't great, but it was. I think his Torchwood stuff was better than his Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Cyberwoman one.
No, that was corny.
Yeah.
That should have been like episode 7 or 8, not episode 2. That was like, remember Canary Wharf? Remember what happened there? It was like, dear God! It's like, no, just too soon. But Russell T Davies had to really clean that story up.
Yeah, so I would say I would rate Enterprise. I'd rate it like a 7. I feel like it could have been a lot more.
7 or 8, it could have been a lot better. It's a lot better than what we got now.
Yeah.
It's proper Star Trek. If you want to watch it for again, it's how Star Trek was.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more raw. They were trying to bring it kind of up to date, like kind of a la Battlestar Galactica, but it wasn't as OTT as Battlestar Galactica. It was still that kind of early kind of 2000s.
Yeah.
They would have did another Star Trek episode in like mid to late 2000s. I bet it would have been like watching CSI.
Yeah.
Or NCIS.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot more raunchy and a lot more sharp.
Yeah.
And a lot more kind of realistic. Not realistic. What do you mean? Kind of today's standards.
Yeah.
Kind of real world kind of standards. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been very Star Trekky.
No.
I think that's what the kind of problem is in Hollywood in general. Is we've gone kind of bleak modern day. That's it. Bleak modern day standards.
Yeah.
Instead of just being escapism. Yeah.
All right, I guess that's all we have to
Yeah.
talk about the Enterprise. I think we've
Yeah.
pretty much.
Who was your favorite alien in it, by the way?
Ooh, I really like the Andorians in Enterprise.
What, Shran? Yeah, he was my favorite as well.
Yeah.
That was Jeffrey Combs who played Shran.
Yep,
who was
Weyoun.
Weyoun.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was my favorite. He was definitely my favorite character in the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's not much I can really say about Archer because he just felt like Sam Beckett, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, just kind of like a harsher,
Yeah.
harsher, a little bit more arrogant version. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So I just wanted to add that little bit about Shran.
Yeah.
I thought the Andorians were brilliant in it.
Yeah, I
Terrorites
agree.
weren't too bad. But it's like, it had so much potential, I think, Enterprise in the long run.
Yeah.
But it was interfered with too much by it was that time, the early 2000s, it was just interfered too much by the studio.
Yeah.
Not the creators. It wasn't like now, which is completely opposite. The creators get almost too much control.
Yeah.
And it ends up becoming like a progressive analogy for for black slavery or etc. etc. It wasn't like that. It was that there's too many producers and executive producers and high ups to the studio chairs to run and say, "Oh, we don't want this. We want this instead."
Yeah.
It had the opposite. We seem to be living in this opposite time from what happened to Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit sad, but it's kind of what's going. And now it's kind of slowly swinging back now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we have to say about Enterprise, and I guess not tomorrow. Next Monday we'll do the Abrams stuff, I guess. And
Yeah, we'll
that'll
do the
be
Abrams, but that's about as far as I'm going.
Then maybe we'll do, I don't know, maybe the week after we'll do we'll do a Stargate discuss, and then maybe we'll do a watch along the week after that. I don't know, something like that.
Stargate if you want. I'll try and remember it.
Yeah.
Make some notes.
Yeah.
Haven't watched Stargate in ages.
All right. Thanks, Sadako. Yeah, you were the only one in the chat.
Sadako.
All right. Take care. Peace. Take care.
Peace
Bye
out.
for now.